Hi there, my name is Samantha Nelson, and today I'm going to be teaching you about the rock cycle. So the first thing that we need to know in order to get into the rock cycle is the rocks. There are three different types of rocks that are formed within the rock cycle, and one of them being igneous rock. An igneous rock is formed when hot magma is rapidly cool. And I listed some examples there, which are granite, obsidian, and pumice. Also, there's sedimentary rock, and sedimentary rock is formed by layers of sediment being mixed and compressed together for extended periods of time. Lastly, there's metamorphic rocks, and those are a combination of rocks that are compressed together by high pressure and high heat. And all these rocks change over hundreds and hundreds of years with just 6 easy, simple steps. And I know it sounds easy, but it's very complicated to, understand or go through. So the first step is weathering and erosion. Rocks on the surface of the earth are continuously being broken down by natural occurrences such as wind and water. And if you've ever been skiing, this is a good example to, compare it to. You might have noticed that your cheeks got really red or they hurt, is almost like a sunburn. That's the same thing as wind erosion on rocks. And moving water also creates cracks and smooth rocks. If it's going through like valleys and mountains and everything like that, you'll see like a lot of smooth rocks, and I have a example in the next slide. And the result of all that are that the larger rocks are worn down to small particles, and when the particles are broken off of a rock and stay in the same place, it's known as weathering. But then when the particles are carried somewhere else, it's called erosion. And here I listed some pictures. You can see that the wind and the water have caused this rock in the middle to break, and then the other rocks, you could see that they form different patterns, and on the right it's very smooth. The second step is transportation, and eroded rock particles are carried away by wind, rain, streams, rivers, and oceans. And I put a picture, you'll be able to see it right here. It's an easy way to remember it because the sedimentation is being carried somewhere else, so it's transportation. The third step is deposition, and the word deposit is found within deposition, and this can help us to remember that in the next step, the rock particles sink down to the bottom of the rivers and oceans and become a layer of sediment. And here you can see this is deposition on the right, and then on the left, you could see on the bottom in the green with the big circle, that's where all the sediment is deposited at the bottom from weathering and erosion. And the fourth step is compaction and cementation. And as time goes on, those layers of rock particles that were deposited on the floor begin to stack up, and the weight and pressure compacts the bottom layers like a sandwich. That's what I compared it to. And this step is where sedimentary rocks are formed because the rocks are squished together, filling in any gaps, which acts as cement. And here you can see that all these different rocks, like I just described, are packed together into one. And the fifth step is metamorphism. And if we fast forward even more, sedimentary rock ends up deep underground at this point, and it's exposed to high heat and high pressure. This process causes them to change into metamorphic rocks, and the pressure of tectonic plates causes the rocks to smush together, again like a sandwich. Here, I couldn't find a good picture, but this is the best one I found that can kind of describe this process. It occurs over a wide area. The heat and pressure are created at convergent boundaries where plates are colliding and usually produces foliated rocks. And the last and final step is rock melting. This is when metamorphic rocks underground the Earth's surface become magma. And if there is a volcanic eruption, the magma will flow out of the volcano, and after a small amount of time, the lava will harden and become igneous rock. And when the new igneous rock is formed, the cycle just starts all over again. Like I said, this was the 6 steps of the rock cycle, and it's very easy if you follow these 6 steps to understand. And there's a lot that goes into it, but thank you for watching and have a great day.